Welcome to the Tribe Membership Show.
Welcome to this episode of the Tribe Membership Show. Today, I'm really excited. I have one of my favorite people on the planet, very special guest. He's 1/3 of the Tribe Guys Tribe Secrets book here, authoring the Tribe Secrets book, 27 Tribe Secrets. And it's a pleasure to have Mike Tielemans. He's a co-creator or creator of the Tribe Method, co-authored this book. He's a founder now of the Cult Creators. And he's not just a systems guy. He actually helped me build my over 40 Alpha Brotherhood. Him and his twin brother Rick helped me build the over 40 Alpha Brotherhood into a retention machine. And now he's helping other people with the strategies. And today I'm excited because we're going to talk about turning lurkers into lifetime members, lurkers into lifetime members using retention and engagement. So welcome, Mike. Welcome to the podcast.
Good to be here.
Yeah, oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's our sign. Yeah,
that's what we do.
Awesome. Yeah, that's what we do. Okay, so let's kick it off. We were just talking back off camera, shooting the chat. But why don't you tell us your origin story? Like, how did you get to where you are today? What was that origin story to becoming like an expert in building communities and tribes?
Yeah, I mean, all we knew from we were one of those high school, had no idea what we want to do. Like, I don't want to get a job. I just want to play with my friends, But it was grade 10. We got pulled out of English class to go to this digital marketing event. And, I'm just doodling the whole time. But then realizing, like, this guy is like, no border, no boss, no alarm clock, making dumb money, just doing like whatever, he's just like drop shipping from China. And so like, we really got the idea in our head that A, freedom is like a huge value of ours. And B, the best path would be digital marketing. So we had this 18-year-old dream of just working from a MacBook and a laptop, MacBook and like an iPhone from Starbucks. And so we just chased that dream. And so till we were 27, so a good like 8-9 years, we just tried everything in digital marketing, right? VSLs and like white labeling, reputation management, and just absolutely every part that we could do. We just kept fucking forward until we're like, then we hit that like inciting incident, we lost our main client. It was like a cold bus ride back from, Northern Ontario. And he's like, I want to try internal marketing. And we're like, that means we're fired. So that it was a new rock bottom. And so we're like, okay, we needed certainty. Like we would never be able to like get clients because we didn't really know exactly what we'd do with them. And so it's such a frustration, like 1 foot on the gas, 1 foot on the brakes. And so we're like, okay, we're going to hire this guy. He was like the king of ClickFunnels. He had done a 2 Comma Club award and then helped 7 others get a 2 Comma Club award. And I'm like, this guy's got a system. So we spent $13,000 that we did not have. And we're like, okay, so we finally gear up for the first call. And it's like, okay, so what is the difference between those that make $1 million and those that don't? And he's like, well, bro, like we just make the webinar funnel, like it really comes down to who hires me. And we're like, this like basically get to the point where he's like, you got to learn messaging. And so realized that was a waste of $13,000, but that put us on a journey for the next 7 years of just living in cheap Mexican hostels. And, we're just like, we're by the beach eating burritos, studying the like 8-figure ClickBank VSLs. Like, what are they saying? We're like deconstructing the 2 Comma Club award winners. And we're like, what are they saying? And just trying to then looking at cults, like how do they get people to just drop their lifestyles and then completely like uproot to a different country with a different set of people and like beliefs? We're like, that's crazy, right? How do these cult brands like Harley and Jeep, like how do they do it so that they can sell anything? How does Supreme sell out a t-shirt in like a few minutes? How does Cards Against Humanity make $30,000 like just digging a hole? It's like, what is going on? And so we studied, like a lot of like the human brain as to why people make decisions. And so we just kind of kept compiling all of these pieces of like, how does the brain work? Why do we choose to be a part of something and like not over here? And so we kind of amassed all of these pieces and just like slowly worked it into a system. So by the time we met you, we had like some certainty that it's like, okay, we know some things, let's test it. And so, then for years, we just kind of grabbed partners because we didn't really still have the certainty of exactly what we were doing. Like we knew some things, but we didn't know exactly how it would go, what the system would be. So like with you, we're like, let's shake hands and build together, And then, so about 5 years of that now. And so we finally got it to a place where it's like a very structured system of how do we invite people in, how do we indoctrinate them into what we're doing, and how do we intensify this collective that make them want to be a part of it and buy everything and never leave.
Yeah, no, that's a great story. And it's kind of like for those who are listening right now, you're probably like, okay, so it's just all about messaging, but it is not all about messaging because during the time when we were together, like yes, obviously it is about messaging, but like all of the secrets, all of the things that we implemented in and we tried, like you're like, okay, we're gonna do this. Why? This is the reason. There was always like a reason behind things with you guys. You were like, okay, the reason why we're doing this is because of this. And so that for me, that's like the way you coached me and the way you guys created, helped me create the Over 40 Alpha Brother. That's literally the way I coach other people because I think when you say, okay, this is the reason why we're doing this. Okay, well, wait a minute. I thought it was about this. Yeah, no, that's right. We got that. But now in this step, this is what we're doing and this is why we're doing it. And it just made so much sense. And then you just go into it much deeper. So yeah, you guys are like masters at the human behavior because not only did we test it with me, but like I'm testing it with other people. You guys have tested with a bunch of other partners and it works. The people who do it, it works. The people who don't, it doesn't, right? Like that's
It works
really
if you
what
work it.
Totally.
Yeah, like anything.
Yeah. So, okay. So now we got the messaging and people are coming in, right? Now you got people into the membership, you got people into your community, right? Big community. Now, how do we keep them? How do we focus on keeping them there, right? In the community? What's the magic that we need or what do we need to do to ensure that they stay in the community?
Yeah, and that was a big piece. Like when we hired that guy, then he just sent us a PayPal link. And so this is the biggest financial decision we've ever made in our business. This is like a huge make or break moment for our career of like, are we going to make it or do we have to get a job? And then all of a sudden we like just put this, I think it was like half the payment. So like $6,000 through. And then all of a sudden it's just like a PayPal thank you page. And it's like,
No.
it's like being at the top of a roller coaster and then just emotionally flatlining.
Right.
And so it's like, it was just so frustrating, like we have to just have our own celebration. We had like made a nice steak and stuff, but like really using emotion equals action, right? And so it's really just how can you use that emotion, but then also like really just handhold, like we talked about so many times, handhold them through the finish line. Like we say for a good tribe leader, the real game starts as soon as you get the sale. Whereas most people, especially in kind of like the older models, then it was like, you got a sale? Sweet. Let's get another one. Let's get another one. Right. And it's like, no, the game finally starts when they've trusted you to help. Right. And so it starts the minute that they pay because that's the height of emotion. And so I was just even looking through our old like 0 to 8 day emails and just tracking like, what is the open rate? What are we saying? How do we just like really override their beliefs? Right. Because that's a big thing is like, we talk about how you have to manipulate human behavior, the dark arts of customer seduction. And that's because like we work with coaches and we've worked with so many really great coaches that have really great products and really great programs. And yet these are the ones that somehow struggle the most to get sales. And it's so frustrating because these are the people that have like so much genius to help. And so it's like, you have to get people out of their own way because the brain is wired for comfort, not change. And most coaching programs are completely about you have to change everything to become this new thing. And so they are going to self-sabotage. They are going to get in the way. A lot of people will have a gym membership to say, check the box, I'm doing the thing. It's like, well, you're not. You're just paying to like hold the identity. We saw this with Russell's when we built the Assassin Academy, where it's like a lot of people will just keep paying to maintain this, oh, I do martial arts. And so it's really like they'll take that first step, but then that's kind of it, right? And so we have to do everything that we can to override these self-sabotaging principles in their brain. And we have to like drag them through day by day, almost like hour by hour until we can get them to that finish line, right? And so it really starts with that first, hour, day, week, month, right? That's the height of it. So we really looked at, well, how do we indoctrinate them into what we're doing, right? Because that's the whole point of a tribe is that, we create that us versus them because people will value their in-groups more than everything else, even if it was made up in 5 minutes. Like, oh, we share this identity. Like all of a sudden we have an in-group and then we value this more than them, right? So that's why messaging was such a big piece because it's the blueprint for everything. Who are we? What are we doing? How do we get there, right? And then
Right.
from once we make that sale, once they said, yes, I want to be a part of this, then we have to indoctrinate them onto what it is that we do, right? And so that's where we really spend the time in the first week, like indoctrinating them into, this is who you need to be. This is what you need to do to get there, right? This is what we do. This is what we stand for. This is what we believe. And so it's really just kind of, it's that vision. Like every religion, every like cult leader is just almost possessed by this vision of what's possible. And that's what people love to follow. People want to be led by the invisible hand, right? Every day we're looking for direction. We're looking for hope. And so it's like almost a constant battle, especially as a tribe leader, to keep that vision and to keep like promoting hope and dragging them through, saying, this is possible, just keep doing this. But what is this, right? And so it's really indoctrinating them on who are we, where are we going, how do we get there, right? That's that frame of orientation that Eric Fromm, a social psychologist, he's like, man wouldn't be so suggestive if it weren't for its need for a cohesive map about how the world works and their place in it.
Right. And that's kind of like the world would be your membership, and the place in it are the members coming in. I find that most I just call them community leaders at this point, because I mean, we've been fighting for it to be tribe. And it's just, okay, fine. Call it a community, but this is like a tribe community. Okay. Like, let's add that. But I find that the biggest mistake that most community tribe leaders make, membership, course, whatever, is, like you said, they don't indoctrinate. They don't understand what that means. So as soon as they get the sale, it's like, whew, okay, cool. Let me get another one. Let me get another one. And even more, like I'm maybe going off topic here, but even more, like a lot of like people who have memberships want the yearly membership. Like they feel like more comfort when they get the yearly membership as opposed to the monthly. I'm like, no, dude, you want the monthly membership. You want the MRR. The yearly only comes once. You want that MRR, which means that you can't just go, oh, okay, I got them in, I'm great, and leave them, right? So the indoctrination piece you're talking about, what are some things, because some of the people who are listening, they sometimes want this practical stuff. What are some things they can do in order for you to indoctrinate them into your world, into your cult, really?
Yeah. And I mean, because our core value is freedom, it's why we've eaten shit for over a decade and a half to like maintain that freedom. Like what is the best freedom model? How do we get there? And MRR is that. I mean, Dan Kennedy even said, we're at FHL. He's like, if you don't have MRR, you have episodic income events. That's not a business, right? And that was the problem before, is like, we work with a lot of like product pushers. Put out another product, get more following, put out more products, right? Me. And so it's like, no, build one thing really well, and that you can get MRR, and then you can just increase, like different states of hierarchy, different levels, different access points, right? But we even made our whole, like the middle of our process, which is Indoc. How do we get Indoc, right? The whole like product, I guess. The acronym is now MRR, because that is the sweet spot. Like that's what we need. So it's manifesto, rewards, and rituals.
Love it.
And so it really starts with that manifesto, which is basically, how do we take everything that we did on like the messaging side and then turn it into this really good piece of writing that can encapsulate, like how many, who's that one Rich Schefren, he like got famous with his internet marketing manifesto.
Yes.
Thousands of copies really put him on the map, right? And so like manifestos have always been a way to like put that line in the sand to say, this is who we are. This is what we do. This is who we are not, right? So ClickFunnels did a really good job at this. They said, we are funnel hackers. We don't take VC funding. We're the little guy, and we win every day because of it. They're like, we will never do this. We do this, right?
Yeah, we bootstrap.
Yeah, exactly. We bootstrap. Yeah. And so there's a very clear, and so the biggest thing is it builds emotion, right? But I guess on the tribal psychology side of things, it gives that mental map to say, oh, this is who we are. This is what we do, right? Because we found out that everything that we do is based on the identities we hold, right? I run because I'm a runner, right? And so we know that we had to turn it into an identity first. So we have to immediately strap on, I'm a funnel hacker, I'm an over 40 alpha, right? And so then the biggest part is you've now created this world. And so this world of over 40 alphas in your little kingdom, right? We have to teach them what that means, because most people are lurkers because they don't get indoctrinated into what we're doing. They don't know how to act. They don't know how to behave. Usually there's not even an identity associated with it to even understand that, right? So the manifesto is a way to kind of take everything that we're doing and put it into a piece of emotion that they can understand who we are, what we're doing, what we're not doing, where we're going, and really this like rally cry for it, right? So you had a really good one, and then you turned it into a video, which was even hotter.
New wave of man hats.
Oh
It's
yeah.
a new wave of man is what the manifesto is. We are creating new wave of man. So we got the new wave of man hats. Anyways, keep going.
Epic. I love it. Yeah, because all of these things turn into unifiers in the community,
Right.
Which is how we intensify the third step, right?
Yeah.
And so it really begins with, you have to indoctrinate them into who we are, what we're doing, where are we going, the vision of the future, and how we get there, our process, our unique method, the meta test boost method that they've never tried.
Right.
And so that's a huge part of it, is if you can build something and write something that shows them this new identity, the beliefs and behaviors of this new identity, and like where we're going, and like rally them. The key is really emotion. You create this emotion because emotion equals action. But also it calms the amygdala, the anxiety part of the brain, where it's almost like when you're at a cocktail party full of strangers. Like, it just feels like danger in the brain because it's so foreign. Like, we don't like anything unknown. We're like built for this, for being in like-minded tribes of like-minded people on like a similar journey. Anything familiar feels safe. Anything different is strange, and that is like danger in the brain. So we have to teach them what it means to belong, so that by the time they get into the community, they start the process, it already feels natural. It feels like they're at a cocktail party full of like people like themselves, And so that is a big part, is basically teaching them how to not be a lurker. If we teach them how to post, what we're doing here, then we've already overcome like 2/3 of the reasons why people don't post.
By the way, I'm just going to backtrack just a second. I love the MRR. I don't know if you mind going through the MRR, like the R and the R, but I want to just backtrack two things. What is a lurker? Just for people who are listening, we didn't define what a lurker is. So what's a lurker?
Yeah, most communities are people that are just kind of like off to the side. And you'll see it's like, oh, I don't post on Facebook, I'm just here to watch. Just here to hang out. I just want to learn, Even like one of my favorite podcasts is My First Million. And so Sean was talking about his first Tony Robbins event. He's sitting at the back. He's like, I'm not going to dance. I'm not going to jump around. I'm here to learn. He's like, 15 minutes later, I'm jumping up. I'm moving around. People are like, your first time?
That was me at ClickBank. That was me at ClickFunnels.
Totally.
Totally. Me at ClickFunnels. I'm too good for this. I'm just going to sit down. Me doing push-ups with my shirt off with those guys.
And you made some friends.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Okay, so and that's probably the biggest challenge for a lot of people who have communities already, or memberships, or any type of forum, what have you, is people are in, I've got this community, but no one's really engaging. It's so funny how when you talked about so that's what lurkers are the people who need to be engaged, and those are the ones who are going to cancel first, right?
Oh yeah.
Lurkers are going to cancel.
Oh, I got
first.
Nothing out of it.
Yeah, I got nothing worth. Yeah, exactly. So it's funny because one of my clients, he had 2,000 members in his Facebook group, right? So he had a Facebook group as part of his membership. He had about 2,000 people in there, and he has another one that has like 60,000. It's a free group. And when you look at how many posts they get a day, the 60,000 one only got like 4 posts a day, and his members one only got like 4 or 5 posts. But a couple of those posts per day were from him and his team, right? So imagine you have this 2,000 people in your group and only 2 or 3 posts a day. When we implemented the indoctrination, when we implemented the identity, calling them vibe stars, dude, 800 posts a day.
That's what's up.
And now this is 5 months later. This is 5 months later now, and the posts are still like now we just did another launch, but it's still 600, 400, 500 posts a day. And when you go in there, because they are all vibe stars, like you said, it's like, once they understand that they're part of somebody, when they get into the community, they already feel like they're a part of the community. Like, it was just like day one, 800 posts, and it was like they knew each other because now they can see each other. So that's how important that the indoc part is, or the indoctrination part is. Because every time I do it with a client, it blows up their community. It's insane how many people like the emotions, right? So
Yeah, it's
I just
powerful.
wanted to,
But
yeah,
also that's why it's so important to call in the right people. Because
right,
a lot of people will like, well, I want a big TAM, you know, I want like a mass market because I want to make more money. I want to help more
right.
people. We're like, cool, but that's not how that works. We're like, then you're just going to get a bunch of different people with different goals and different pains. And then there's going to be no belonging. We have to build for belonging.
Hey,
So it really
let's
starts from the front.
yeah, let's talk about that. We were talking about this offline. Again, just the difference between, because I find that the struggle that I see out there with, because I'm part of a community membership site, so the questions come up all the time, the struggles come up. These are literally the struggles that you are going through today are the biggest struggles. But like, oh, the one is, oh, I want to just, I just want, like, for instance, people with pets. Let's just talk about people with pets, right? I just want people with pets, right? Oh, it doesn't matter. People with pets. It's okay. Okay. Well, this one membership is for support, like emotional support pets owners, right? So they have specific things that they get, right? Emotional support pets, they got certificates. There's specific things that an emotional support pet person has, and because they have mental health issues or whatever they're struggling with, versus somebody who doesn't, who just has a dog. Like my neighbor downstairs, they just have a dog. They love their dog, right? They go to the dog park. But if they both go to to get an apartment at or somewhere to get an apartment, the person with just the dog is going to go in, and the landlord's probably going to go, no, you can't have dogs here. But the support pet person, like, well, I can actually, because here's a certificate that says it's an emotional support pet. So I can have this dog here. And so right away, there's a big difference between both of those type of people, because a lot of times people look down upon people who have emotional support pets because it's like, well, I don't have one of those things. How come that person get, like, they're not, it's not like a seeing eye dog or a whatever, you know what I mean? So if you put all those people into the same place, it would be chaos.
Different
Right?
pains, different struggles, different journeys. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just had that thought about the making sure that you hit the right identity and the right type of person so that you don't have the differences as opposed to the similarities inside the membership.
Yeah, like Daraj. He was like,
Right.
I'm for artists and producers. And like that's pretty specific enough because he was in a unique like sync licensing for your tracks. Like instead of your music making money from stage and performing, he's like, why don't you just sell the rights to Netflix, HBO? And so he's like, it's pretty nuanced and niche already. So he's like, yeah, artists and producers. And it's like, yeah, but that's still not specific enough. We want it to be suspiciously specific.
Yeah.
And so eventually he's like, okay, independent hip hop artists only. We're like, yeah, kick the girl country singer out, kick the producers out, and just be for independent hip hop artists. And all of a sudden he's like, all right, yeah, now they're saying the message is potent, getting 88-cent leads, getting 500 leads in the first week he turns ads on, and tripled his MRR.
Yeah, incredible! Like absolutely incredible, just with that messaging.
Yeah.
It's so simple. It is actually so simple.
It's too
But
simple.
people just want to complicate it. Okay, so
But that's why we say, like you, it's like, well, you probably have multiple tribes within your list, right?
Yeah.
So what
yeah.
we did with Over Friday Alpha, then you're like, okay, let's do it again for kettlebell. Let's do it again
Right,
for women.
yeah,
Let's do it again, right? And so you can just
Yeah.
split off, use the same process, and
Yeah.
just split off and just build these like micro communities.
Totally. Yeah, 100%. Okay, what is the R, the first R in MRR in regards to, the retention piece?
Yeah, the product. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
rewards.
Rewards.
So,
Okay, what are
milestones,
rewards?
right? So a
Okay.
lot of people will be like, okay, we're going to accomplish this thing. It's like, well, that's cool. But for some people, it can take like 3 months, 6 months, a year and a half. And, the brain gets lazy. Every day is like an uphill battle on trying to get this thing. Shiny object syndrome, right? And so we really have to show the journey, right? So that's what we call the transformation journey. And that's why we like the rule of threes. Like just make it really simple. We do this, we do this, we do this, right? So for cult creators, we invite, we indoctrinate, and we intensify. That's all we got to do, right? Really, there's a lot of steps in it, There's so much nuance in there.
Yeah.
But we're like, just these 3 steps, right?
Yeah.
And so within that, then we still have to be like, okay, how do we, because the brain, like dopamine is the reward center of the brain. So, we wouldn't be as advanced in society without this neurochemical, right? And so it's the seeking, it's the growth, it's the reward. And so this gets triggered when we write goals, when we prepare for something, but also as we get closer. If you have a card with like, buy 10 coffees, get one free. When you're at 8 or 9, you're like, you're buying more often. You're buying your friends, maybe. Like, you really want to get closer. And because it's like that dopamine, like, we're getting so close. Like, when you hit a goal, when you're close to a goal, when you're preparing for a goal. And so the more rewards we can put in the system, the more they're going to, stay on track, but also like really ramp up action as they get closer to these things, right? So with the 1 year to alpha, then we created rewards every 3 months. But then even within every 30 days, we kind of treated it like its own mini challenge of like, start here, 30 days later, only 4 weeks, right? Then you're here. And what's expected at that, right? And so it's like, how do we just inject rewards and then incentivize those rewards so that they actually want to hit it?
Right. That's awesome. And yes, it works like a charm. Again, I'm going to use because for me, we've already done it, right? Like but for my clients, Mike, I've never seen anything like this. So we implemented a reward, the first milestone t-shirt, and the buzz behind that milestone t-shirt that it caused, like in month 2, when he said, okay, we're going to have our first milestone, because this was the founding members, and then he's got 6, 9, and 12. Like, people, they were losing their minds. And then they're like, "No, but so do I have to do every single this and all of these things to get this milestone?" It's like, just listen, just fill out the information when you get there, blah, 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 blah. And then there's other people like, well, I've been here for 3 months. Shouldn't I just get the milestones? Like, no, you have to live the program. So there was a lot of buzz behind the milestone because it's new, right? It's new for everybody. 600 people filled out the milestone t-shirt. 600
Damn.
people made it to the first phase, first milestone, which was phase 3. And when he sent out all 600, right, because we have that new system in place that we built, they started posting those pictures. It was insanity, because then all the people who kind of fell off during the 3 months, they were like, okay, no, I'm going back. I'm getting back in. So it reinvigorated other people. The people who got the Chase Challengers, that's the t-shirt, like seeing other people with it. It's like, oh my God, this is amazing. So now, and then the whole focus after they get excited and post, okay, phase 6, I'm getting that phase 6 milestone. Yeah. And it's just like the whole process of celebrating the milestone, posting it. So now you see 600 women in the Facebook group posting their V and their milestone t-shirt. And then all the other people are like, what's that? How can I buy that? Like you say, you can't buy, you got to earn it. It's something that's earned. Dude, it's unbelievable. And like with my client, his mind's completely blown, because he's working less than he ever has before. He's working way less because we're putting these systems, but the milestones are so insanely important. 100% retention rate, by the way. 100% retention rate. Insane. It's insane. So yes, the milestones definitely work. I want to ask you about gamification. What are your thoughts on gamification? I can tell you mine, but I want to hear yours first.
Yeah, we've been loving school just because it's like, right, for years, it was kind of like our one holdup on taking on more clients. It's like, well, we need that system, like the software. Yeah. WordPress is a nightmare, and like Kajabi was a lot of work. But right, I like how school makes it so easy, but it also has gamification built in. Right. So we built J Ferrugia's in school, and we have 100% engaged members. 100% of the members are engaged.
Wow.
And then I was looking the other day, and I can see that the daily activities on about 100 dudes is 300 to 800 daily activities.
Wow.
And so, yeah, kind of proving that again. But I like how they have the leaderboard. So again, we have rewards built into that: level 1, level 2, level 3, up to level 9. Right. And then within that, it's like we have a Dungeons and Dragons Grandmaster that we borrow his brain sometimes, because you just get the whole creative world around it. And he's like, just like any good game, you make it pretty easy to advance in the first few levels. And then you make it increasingly harder, right? Because you already have that buy-in, right? That commitment curve. And so like once you get high enough on the commitment curve, like these behaviors are just more like, they're innate. You're already doing the thing. Yeah. And so I like how school kind of already has that built in. So then it's just about assigning rewards at each stage.
Right. So I have a opposite thing about gamification, because my experience with gamification is that like most people, so maybe this is based on the way you set it up, but most people their milestones or whatever will be will be inserted into the gamification, and all they'll do is just put up leaderboards. And a lot of times it's like to incite postings and engagement through like, okay, points. So if you post 10 times this week, you're going to move up, you're going to move up, you're going to move up, right? And that's everywhere. Like leaderboards now are like everywhere. And so the thing for me is like, at one point I'm like, dude, this is me posting something on this thing. There's no, there's no incentive for me. Like, I don't care about being on a leaderboard. Like, I don't give a shit about being on a leaderboard, because that's just something that if I see that I'm way down on the leaderboard, I won't even post. Like, it's like, what is
disincentivizing?
It's just, right. And it's just like, this is not for me. I want the info to get me to my transformation. And the leaderboard in most memberships is just about, oh, well, we got this point system, like school, they have a point system and you can put rewards to it. But I find that because it's everywhere now, it's not as solid as a physical reward. So I don't mind having the leaderboard in some way, but I think the physical milestones are way more powerful. And we had a little battle before with one of my clients, and he just saw the difference between having a leaderboard, which wasn't really working, than giving them t-shirts. It was like, oh, Jesus, okay. And now I understand what you're talking about when you're talking about a physical reward. So that's just my only thing about gamification, because it's like a lazy man's milestone, if that makes sense. That's just my point of view.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the more you can do physical rewards, the better it's going to be. Like, yeah, with Jay's, then we give a t-shirt at level 6. Right. At level 9, they get to go work out with him at his gym. Yeah. Or they get a ticket to his live event for free, which is like thousands of dollars. Wow. Like school itself, if you hit level 9, which is extremely hard to do, then you get to go visit school headquarters, hang out with Sam Ovens. Yeah. And, like, the whole point is to create exclusivity. Something you can't buy. Something, even like when we were at Funnel Hacking Live. Then because we hit a certain, we hit the 2 Comma Club, then we had a different badge on ours, which is a conversation fee. So we got to go into a different room. We got to sit in different seats. Right? So again, like status is a huge piece that you can tie to it. One of the things that we haven't really got to play with, but we've talked about in the past, because it's illegal in some countries because it's so effective, is the loot boxes, right? So this is super common in Temu. If you go to the Temu app, it's like all these things just pop off and you're like, spin the wheel, right?
Yes.
Yeah, like they're really good at gamifying, and then you're like, do it again, and then you get like 2 things, but you got to buy these things to get these. Totally. Sucks you in. But that's what you're thinking is like, the more that you can do something almost like a mark complete button, mark complete every day, right? To track progress. What if every randomized event has a pop-up, right? Now you just get $10 off of Funk Supplement Club. You know? All of a sudden they're doing an action that they always do. And now all of a sudden it activates a reward. The brain immediately perks up and wants to keep doing that. Yeah, totally. Because it wants to understand, it wants to find more of these. And so I've always wanted to introduce those at sporadic random interval events just to hold retention and see how that goes. Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
It's more logistics.
So we just launched a sleep challenge in school. So I am using school for a sleep challenge that we're doing right now. And the goal is to make it into a membership, because now we're realizing that these guys want more hand-holding through the process of getting better sleep, because Nick has got this incredible, they've already like changed the sleep completely now. It's just like, oh my God, I can't even believe it. It's more behavioral, but I want to find a way to use the sleep beasts. I call them the sleep beasts because here's the thing, as much as I just destroyed gamification in my mind, the ones who are engaged, the ones who show up for our live coaching calls every week, I'm now calling the sleep beasts, because they're literally the ones getting the best results, and they're showing up Vincent Green, Andy Major, the guys who David Livingston, like they show up every single week, and they're the ones that are, we do a live coaching where it's like a hot seat where they just talk about what they're struggling with, whatever. And they're the ones that are getting the best results. And so at the end of this, I'm like, I'm going to send them a shirt that's a sleep beast, like the ones who showed up. But definitely I'm going to have to tap into your brain on how to set up those leaderboard rewards so that it's engagement, retention, and milestone based. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Rewards. Yeah. Most people just don't take the time.
Right. So from rewards, let's move into the third R, which is
Rituals.
my favorite. My
Yeah,
favorite.
we
My
love them.
all-time favorite.
Yeah,
This is it.
extremely effective.
Totally, like insanely effective.
Yeah, and I mean, everybody has these already. Like, you have to, rituals are just the behaviors you have to do to get the result. So
Right.
every like coaching program, every membership site, everything has rituals, right?
Yeah.
Every tribe. I mean, it really started when we were in the Museum of Anthropology in Mexico City, and we're looking at these like Mexican, like the Mayan tribes, and seeing that they have soccer games, but there's like beheadings, like they're using other people's heads, or maybe like I think the loser got beheaded. I don't know. It was like really weird, but they have some really weird rituals. And we're like, yeah, just seeing like every tribe had really, some really fucked up, but like every tribe has really interesting rituals.
Right.
And so there's kind of two parts to that. The first one is, I mean, the main thing is getting everybody to do the thing they need to do, right? So again, like what behaviors do they need to do to get the results?
Right.
That's foundational. But then there's also like rituals that are unique to your community, your tribe, right? And so those can be sporadic. Those can be, right, like birthday burpees.
Totally.
For the over 40 alphas, that's what they do.
When I explain that to people, it's like, it's not just them doing burpees. They literally take the phone. These are guys in their 40s, 50s. They have to get their phone, put it somewhere, turn it, put it on record, go back, and then do the burpees. Finish doing the burpees for however long it takes them to do the amount of burpees on their birthday. So 65, you can do 65 burpees. Turn the phone off, take it, download it, post it on Facebook. Like, it's a whole ritual. It's not just doing burpees, because they want to show themselves doing the burpees. Like, that's the only proof. You got to do the burpees. You got to do it live. It doesn't matter how long it takes, and you post it. So the whole ritual isn't just it's the whole thing. It's like, you got to understand, like, it's not as easy. Like, these guys aren't tech, like, not a lot of them weren't tech savvy. So just having to get the phone and setting it up, it's like, that whole thing is like an incredible ritual that they hold so true to their heart, you know?
Yeah. And they're not 20-year-old girls. They're not used to getting themselves on camera and posting for the internet. Like, this is friction.
100%.
But that's why the real key to rituals is having a leader that will actually post the rituals, them living the lifestyle and doing the rituals, because mirroring is one of the best parts for how you actually engage your people and really bond your people together. Is, seeing face to face. The more you see the same faces, that law of familiarity, like, you really grow closer together. That's how you get the offline friendships and like the people, like, really building together. But the mirroring is so important, because these people come in and, like, especially the new guys, they need to learn how to belong and behave in this new social world. And so the easiest way is they just see what other people are doing. So they see, 48 today, video, 48 burpees, I got it done. And so they just start to see, they keep seeing these things.
Yeah.
They keep seeing, they're just like, okay, I got it done. With the hand over the heart, I got it done. So they're seeing our gang sign, they're seeing our shared verbiage, they're seeing that after we workout is a huge ritual. But then after we work out, we have a secondary, almost silent ritual of posting that we did it. And of course we have to say, well, why do we do that? It's like, well, we do that for accountability, Also, like, film yourself doing the workout so that we can, critique you and make it better. Right. Yeah. So again, you have to say what, but there always has to be that why. The brain is always like, well, why? Why are we doing this? Right. So you have to give some why behind the what, and then of course, like, post it and have a leader who will post it. But the rituals, I mean, that is the key to getting results. That is the key to getting engagement. That is the key to this tribal bonding in the community, which is the key to retention.
Totally. It's everything. Rituals are everything. It's like once you have these rituals ingrained and the tribe leader actually does those rituals, it's again, night and day. Like, it's literally night and day. Once again, I'll go back to Rick. Like, when he started, I told him you got to do weekly coaching calls, but then I told him you have to also post your workouts. You have to post your V's, right? He's like, but sometimes I don't do the same workouts I do. It's like, it doesn't matter what workouts you do. I got a workout done, V, sweaty selfie. That's it, right? And so he started doing that, and like, it's so engaging, right? So yes, there's 600 posts, so not everyone sees them, but still, the fact that he feels closer to his members since he's been doing like the weekly coaching calls, him posting, him liking and commenting, because he starts to see the same faces and he starts to get a bigger connection, right? And he has just more connection to his members, and they can feel it on the other side. Because the other thing that he did was an Ask Rick, right? Because again, when you're getting 600 posts a day, his biggest fear was like, dude, that's way too many posts. How am I going to answer the questions? I'm like, no problem. Ask Rick. And so like literally, I go, ask Rick. So we set up the Ask Rick system. First Ask Rick had like 50 questions, answered all the questions, posted the video. People were blown away because they couldn't believe that the leader of this program had the time to answer every single person's question. That day when I was posted, he had 5 Trustpilot reviews, all 5 out of 5, saying this is the best program ever. I can't believe it. The Rick answered my questions. He took the time, like, and again, like he's working less, right, on the membership because of the systems, but the members feel like he's in there all the time because he does a weekly live coaching call. He doesn't Ask Rick, and he posts. It's insane. It's insane, right? The mirroring is what we were going to, but the mirroring is such a powerful tool. Like my mind's blown right now because I've done this, right? I've seen it, I've done it, and you guys have worked with other people. Some don't lean into it, some do, but the ones who lean into all of this stuff, 100% of the times they have success. And so me seeing this with a couple of my clients right now, I'm just like, oh, this is gold. Like literally. This is literally the blueprint. Like,
it works if you work it. Exactly. Yeah. And some people don't work it. That's the problem. Like, you can set it up the right way, and you'll get killer reviews on the product. Like, we've seen that. We've seen that with a tribe leader who didn't step up, but we built the program because he was just doing PDFs.
Right.
And so then we're like, well, you can't change a life with a PDF. Like, we believe, we're not in the information age anymore. We're in the age of experience, especially with ChatGPT. You can easily get a PDF workout plan in
100%.
seconds.
100%.
Right?
In fact, AI is going to disrupt everything. We're going to talk about that in a second, but keep going.
Yeah. And so we built the product in a way that is an experience, right? Daily video to follow with a daily email, like the whole thing, like really drag them through with the leaderboards and like all of the rituals. This is what we do. This is who we are. So we built the product that way, and we got killer reviews. Everybody even canceling, they're like, this is your best program I've ever done. Like, this is the only one I've stuck with. But you could see in the community, it's just flat. Like, we did eventually, we had 1 or 2 guys like really step up, make one captain, tried to get coaching calls. Only one ever happened. And, tried to get him to like post, just even a couple times a week, just a picture, and like nothing happened, wouldn't do it. And so then we just see it just like fizzles down. And when the community breaks, when there's nothing happening there, then it unfortunately affects the product because they're so intertwined, right? Like, if the community's popping off, people are using the product. If the community's flat, then it almost makes the product feel flat. Right. And so it does have an effect on each other. And so, it just never quite, like, we did 6 figures with the product, but then it's just like, I'm going to pivot. And it's like, that makes sense because you're not doing it. And so
it sucks though, because like, we're not naming names, but these people are such a powerful, they have a powerful presence, like almost a presence to transform lives. Like, literally, they don't realize the cult leader thing that they have, like the positive side, obviously, that they have to transform lives. Their programs are so amazing. You just talked about that. They have great programs, and like they're the way they present themselves is so amazing. If they just did this, like, I literally feel like taking like the hand and literally doing it for a lot of the people. There's so many of them out there that if they just did this piece, man, it would be insane. Like, insane. Like, not even a question.
Yeah, they got influence. They got a story,
Yes,
they've got that leadership like in them. It's there because they're posting, they're posting to get clients, get customers, but they're not posting in the community, almost as if like, well, I don't need to, they're already paying.
Yeah, no, that's negative. That's the opposite. It's like, okay, these guys are paying, so I better pay attention to the ones who are paying.
Yeah, and we're like, it costs 5 times more to replace a customer than to keep one.
Don't I know? I'm paying for it right now.
Yeah. Then you're going back to Meta, dumping more into ad spend.
Yeah, gotta do it.
Spray and pray.
Yeah. This is amazing. Okay, so What other retention systems? So the MRR, I love it. I think that that's really important. Uh, what about the engagement? Are those some of the things that are going to help with the engagement piece inside the
Yeah.
community?
I mean, the
Yeah.
biggest thing is that these people, usually they say people will post when they know what to post, how to post, when to post, and then have the motivation to do so.
Right.
So if you indoctrinate them well enough, they'll know when to post, how to post, like what we do. They can see it, and they constantly see it every day. People posting, this is what we do. And then you
Right.
see it's like, well, the people who are posting are getting the best results, right?
Right.
So then it's just trying to get the motivation for them to do it. So
Right.
I feel like you're always good at that, like with your coaching calls, the
Yeah.
funk rants, things like that. Like
Yeah.
you get out what you put in. And that's not
Right.
just your workouts, but that's like the whole thing with the community, right?
Yeah.
Stepping up and like leading these new brothers because you've been in that spot before. So
Right.
even taking the people who have been here for a year, and we're like, you almost owe it to these people to like help them break through this like
Totally.
stagnant period.
Yeah.
And so that is a big part of it for sure, is just getting people trained up on like, how do we behave? How do we belong? And then it's just kind of getting them into it. So the more people that post, the more people that post.
Right. And it's so funny you just said about the OGs, right? Because I just shot a video. It's Men's Health Month in June. So I shot a video about Men's Health Month. If you are new, this is when you step in. If you've been away lurking, you've been out of the picture, come back. We have open arms. And if you're an OG or you're on point, you get to help these guys and keep them accountable. I literally shot a video like that. And now you can see inside the group, there's, a little bit more action with some of the OGs who are commenting more on other newer people coming in. So I found that resonated with a few people, but giving them the guys with the status, giving them a feel that they're needed there's purpose for them inside of the membership than just them, losing weight and getting shredded and ripped.
Yeah, which is one of the three parts to the third part, right? How do we intensify this?
Right.
So that's on the community side. And so we got our three S's there. So similarity, significance, and status.
Okay.
So by doing those, then it's on the community side. But of course, the more involved they are in the community, the more the better it is for retention, the more active they're going to be, right? Especially because once you embody this identity that you've worked hard to do, the more aligned you are with this identity, the harder it is to remove it. As soon as you cancel, you've removed that identity.
Yeah.
And so we saw that really powerfully with martial arts, because they will pay, those people, they really hold on to, they really value that identity.
Totally.
And so we're getting 42 months of retention on people, on something we didn't touch.
Right.
We built in a week, and 42 months later, we're still getting these payments, even nothing was really happening. The leader bailed months previous, but it's people do not want to let go of that identity.
Right. So you create that identity during the indoctrination. You have the rituals that reinforces that identity and the transformation, because they're going to transform the new identity, and then the rewards system that are going to be in place. So sorry, the rewards first, then the rituals, but the rewards are going to keep them doing the things that they need to do and just keep everything trugging along. Yeah. Man, this has literally been a masterclass in the first part of getting those lurkers. Right? Because that's what it is. Okay, so here's a question. We don't have a ton of time, but I got to ask this question. So let's say that there has already been an indoc. We're talking about lurkers. So let's say you have a membership or a community right now. You got 100, 200, 1,000, maybe 2,000, and there's zero engagement. What can you do to re-engage those lurkers? We know what to do to avoid lurkers, right? By doing the MRR, but is there something that's in place that you can do to reignite the lurkers?
Yeah, I would say, I was actually just looking at our stats of how we got an increase of 120%. 120? Yeah. 100, it was pretty crazy. 140.5% engagement of a group that was already pretty engaged, right? July, I think, of last year, when we did a live challenge, right?
Oh,
and
shit,
so
100%.
Yeah, for most of the times, if it's just stagnant, it's because the brain loves novelty, right? It's one of the 6 pieces of addiction that will try and toss into these communities. But you do the same thing over and over again, it gets boring, it gets stagnant. You don't want to eat the same cereal every single day for breakfast. Eventually you want some Fruit Loops, you want a little bit of sugar, the brain loves novelty, it loves new. New is how we've grown, it's how we've developed. And so once you have that thing and it's going and it's churning, then I guess churn is a bad word, but once it's going and it's growing, then live challenge, right? So we've done live challenges at least once a year, 1 to 2 times a year for your community, because it increased the already really great engagement by 140%. So just getting the same people doing the same thing every single day and posting, then it's almost like it's almost like a new mini thing within the thing, but you're still using the same rituals. You're still doing the same thing. You're just you're just pushing them together and challenging them to do this thing, right? And so then you just tell them, this is what we're doing, post every day, and we're going to do it for 30 days. And so you just see this quick increase. And then like, as you do that, then maybe like find more emotion, like really tweak your indoc, like, you can start working on the background of things, but just getting people posting and doing the same thing. Again, like the more faces they see, the more people they see posting, the more energy there is, the more energy there'll be, right? And it always works.
Yeah. So that would have been 100% my answer, the challenge for sure. Just because when we did the push-up challenge, oh my God, that was when it's like a push-up challenge. Once again, 31 push-ups a day for 31 days in July. And I did them too. So that, so if you are going to do a challenge to reignite your group, which I think everyone should do, make sure that the challenge is online with the brand, right? Online with what you're doing, so that the rituals are the same as they would always be, kind of thing, right? Sweaty selfies or whatever the ritual will be. And I always say, like, make sure the challenge is like, you have to post something daily, because I didn't really think that these guys were going to shoot a video of them doing 31 push-ups. Like, we had so many posts every day and so many videos, because I just thought they were just going to say, got it done, right? Like my 31 push-ups, but no, every single person shot a video of them doing 31 push-ups, because I was doing it, but they jumped on that, and it just it just reinvigorated the community. Lots of lurkers came in, right? So I think the challenge is the best way to get the lurkers out of lurking, and and then making sure that the rituals and whatever rewards you can throw in there, keep them going, right? Keep them on track.
Or even the captain's challenge. That was cool, because that was like 2 different things at play at the same time. Is that we were getting people, like the whole community rallied together around this challenge, but then we were also taking our micro community of the top 4 most engaged people in the Brotherhood, this like inner circle, the most elite of them, the top 1%, and then rallying them together, giving them significance, giving them status by saying, you guys are in charge. You guys each get to pick a week and pick your favorite workouts from the 36 months. And then you pick 3 or 4 or 5, whatever it was. And then from there, then it's like, you get the captain's hat, you get the captain's, right? You swag them out. And so they had so much significance and status within that. And so not only did we rally the whole group, we got to rally our like inner circle at the same time and give them the significance and status. So it was like a double at the same time.
That was powerful, man. That was an amazing one. Yeah, just okay. Whose workouts did you like the best? I was like, did you like Captain Bruce's? Right?
And then there's a little bit of competition, almost like it's a little leaderboard. Yeah, camaraderie. Yeah.
It was great. It was great. A lot of engagement. A lot of people getting good results, and just the rituals. Man, this has been amazing. I think I was going to ask you about AI and what the importance of like the community pieces now that, like you said, ChatGPT, or I mean, I'm balls deep in AI, just because my last semester at Harvard was AI, creativity, innovation. And during the whole course, the artificial intelligence industry literally exploded during 4 months. Like, it was like from A to like triple Z. And so we're living all of this stuff in school, figuring out all these new resources and tools and things that people are doing. It was incredible, but it was very, very like, dude, you gotta hang on. You gotta literally be doing something. But now somebody just posted something. This is in the fitness world, but somebody just posted that I no longer need a workout or a coach, a fitness coach, because I've been using ChatGPT to create my workouts, and I'm stronger, leaner, and better than I've ever been before. And this is from just using chat. Well, I don't know if it was chat, but it was probably ChatGPT 4.0, because now it remembers right? So you don't have to keep restarting. It remembers everything. It will coach you through everything. Like it'll guide you through. You can plug it into your stats, whatever it is. So in general, for a lot of people and a lot of industries, specifically online, AI is a massive disruptor because people don't need info like they used to from you anymore, right? So what do you think the significance of having a powerful community is going to be in regards to how people can fight AI, like how entrepreneurs can fight AI? Not fight, but
Yeah, work with. Yeah, or like
yeah,
not be replaced by it.
right. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
I think that's the main thing. Yeah.
yeah, totally,
I mean,
totally.
on the front end side, then you can use it as an amplifier. You can make
Sure.
hooks way quicker. You can make videos way quicker. You can write scripts way quicker, right? Like even now
Yeah,
you can create like faceless videos. So you can rip out a bunch of content using like your clone and your voice. And all you got to do
totally.
is write some words and it can spit it out,
Yeah,
right? And
VO3, by
so,
the way, VO3. Keep going.
yeah,
VO3, that's what it's called. VO3
sponsor.
music.
And
Yeah,
yeah, so it's cool on the like front end. You can go
yeah,
faster. You can make a bigger impact. You get your
yeah.
message out there. But we are the loneliest we've ever been, right? Like we are the most disconnected, the most connected world we've ever been in, and the most lonely, the most disconnected. And so that's why build for belonging has always been like our core philosophy, is
Yeah,
because people will pay to belong to something. They value the belonging more than they value the information or kind of anything else. Like people, and I
totally.
see this with like my mom. She is a part of, she's pretty lonely and isolated,
Right,
and then she finds this tribe for this nutrition program, and so
right.
yeah, she's like won't shut up about it.
That's what you want.
Exactly. And so it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, you feel like you're a part of something, like the human
right,
need to feel like you're a part of something bigger than yourself. And so that won't go away because that is how the
no,
brain is wired. We are wired to be in tribes of like-minded people. And so it takes a very dedicated and disciplined person to say, oh, I'm just going to rip a chat GPT PDF,
yeah,
follow it, get stronger, and feel good
yeah,
about it. Like that's not most people. Most
no,
people will, yeah, they'll download it, they'll do it once or twice, then they'll fall
right,
off, they'll forget about it. Months later, they're like, I need that again, or come back to you because they want to be a part of something, right?
right.
So that'll never
Right.
go away. Like, if anything, I think this is getting more and more important.
Yes,
Like, even just seeing community in the past, like, we've been talking about community since 2019.
totally.
But now it's like everybody's talking about community. Like, everybody has a community. Like all the platforms that come out to embrace community, right? Like
Right,
it's just getting more and more important. So I
right.
don't think AI can steal that.
No, I agree with you. I agree. It's very, very important. That's going to be the game changer. That's going to put the people who are like, what's the difference between this program or this course or this membership or whatever? It's definitely going to be the community for 100%. Because if you have that piece, that is going to be your asset moving into because listen, it's only going to get like you guys won't even believe what's to come because we don't even know, but it's only going to get better. Like there will be Funk Roberts video workout that's made by AI that some person's gonna, oh, let's put this body and here's the workout, and it's gonna be a video of a person working out, just like follow along workouts. It's going to happen 100%, not even a question. So if you have a fitness or whatever other type of course or membership, how are you going to stand out like from the person who just, oh yeah, I just download this? Well, if you have a community somewhere where like-minded people, oh yeah, we all downloaded that cool video of fun we're doing the follow along workout, but we're all part of this community and I enjoy being with people who are like-minded. That's going to be the asset. It's not going to be your content or your courses. It's literally going to be how you get them through, and I think the community as well.
Yeah. And then the second part of that, I would
Yeah,
say, is like Dan Kennedy talking about people don't follow you for your content. People follow you because you live your life like a soap opera. People will
right,
watch soap operas for 20 years, even though all the characters change out and they just put somebody else in and say, oh, that's Ryan.
yeah,
And like, it's just about bullshit, like Friends, Seinfeld, all of those are just, hey, throw some people together and like talk about nothing, just their
right,
lives. And it's like, that's what people want. Like people are like weirdly voyeuristic and people want to see how other people live and like follow people who they find fascinating. And so it's like, you have to create a character, which again is like our whole method.
yeah,
And what we've been really looking at, because we've been behind the scenes guys forever. And now
right,
it's like, well, now we are leading cult creators. And so we are
right,
creating our own customer cult of people who are creating their own customer cult. It's a very meta. But like we have to now be on the other side of things so that
right,
we know we have to create an identity. Like we have to be a content creator for the first time. And so that's a new identity. And so we have to look at, well, what does that mean? Like, what is that characteristic? Like, what is that character? So how do we tell the stories from the past? How do we create our story for the future? Like, how do we create content in a way that people can just voyeuristically follow along, because they'll care more about following the journey of other people than the content itself.
Totally. Yeah, and I think that's huge, and you guys do a good job of that. The storytelling and all of those things, the messaging is it's amazing. Where can people find you? Because we are at our time. How can you said you help cult creators? Break it down. Where can people find you? What are you guys doing? Let the men them know. Let the people them know.
Yeah. I mean, our socials, we've now got at the Cult Creators.
Okay.
So we're pretty much that handle on all platforms.
Okay.
So a good place to binge some stuff. And then tribemethod.com
Right.
is currently the place to get, the book or the tribe map, like really build out the blueprint for what you're doing.
Awesome, man. Man, this has been great. It's been awesome speaking to you. It's been
fun.
awesome connecting again. This has been really fun. For those who are listening, we're going to have Rick, your twin brother, on next week or the next podcast. Man, this has been awesome. I can't thank you enough, by the way, for everything you've done for me and my business and just me in general as a man, as a person, as a leader. You guys have literally changed my life. So I love you guys. I appreciate it. And yeah, man, that's all we got. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you. Let's go build your tribe. We'll see you on the other side.
Thanks for tuning in to the Tribe Membership Show. If you're ready to take your membership to the next level, be sure to subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. Want to dive deeper? Visit www.tribesecretsbook.com.